Hi, this is Leanna with Navigating Homeschooling, and I wanted to give you a quick peek at my review of the new Fun Schooling Journal made by the Thinking Tree. This is a reading time journal, and as you can see, it has a Minecraft theme. You can download this as a PDF at funschooling.com. Now, you might notice these streaks here. That is not the fault of the journal or the PDF. That is the fault of my printer. It needs to be realigned. I just wanted to point that out because this is such beautiful artwork. I printed the first page on cardstock to make it a little more sturdy. We put it here in my child's school binder. Now, some people like to print the entire PDF and bind them. I generally, with PDFs, will just print what I think my child would do in about a week and just kind of print as I go along, because I have 3 children using this book and I do not want to print 3 entire books. That's just a lot of ink and a lot of paper and a lot of time. So I just print about a week's worth for what I think my children will do in a week. And then each week I just print the next section. So I have, this book is being used by a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old in my family. And it's to keep track of their reading. It says here, use 1 page each day, accompanied by books of your choice. And you can use fiction or nonfiction. And additional materials, you'll need a thesaurus and dictionary. My children just use the ones online. Now, you'll also notice I didn't print these 2-sided because I use the cheap copy paper, which is very thin, and you can see how it bleeds through. If you have nicer printer paper, you can print it 2-sided. I just don't. It comes with coloring pages and mazes. This is my daughter's. You can see they've already started it. She traced the maze in pencil and then was going back over in marker and evidently got distracted along the way. And these numbers here, I think they're just supposed to represent page numbers. I don't think they have any other purpose in this maze. Now here close to the beginning of the book, you'll find this reading time book list. Now I encourage each of my kids to pick 4 books, either books they were currently reading, as well as maybe additional books that they had as a goal to read in the future. And so these are the 4 books that my daughter picked. I think she's actually reading these first 3 at the same time, and then she has the other as a goal to read. And then when they complete them, they'll put the date here. So they'll have this nice record of all the books they read throughout the year. It has alternating activity pages. Here's one that says draw or write about 4 interesting things from your book. And so they can draw pictures or write, or they can do both. Another maze. This one, they write down 10 books they liked from their reading time, and then using a thesaurus, they can write down synonyms of those words. And I like this because it helps children to think about the words they're reading. Maybe if there's a word they didn't know what it meant, they're going to be able to look it up, see what it means, learn new words along the way. And you can, what was your favorite word today and why? And I like this a lot because when I was a child, I would often just skim over words I didn't know, and I would think about looking them up later, but almost never did. And so this helps them to stop and think about what they're reading and comprehend it a little better. Another coloring page. Here they can choose a favorite section of the passages they read that day and copy it here. Now, obviously, my 7-year-old, I wouldn't expect him to fill this whole thing out. He probably will just write 1 sentence. My older children, I'll encourage them to write something that was meaningful to them. So again, just they can pause and think about what they've read that day. My daughter was excited about this page, so she got right to it. Here she created a comic strip of the books that she just started reading, Indian Captive. It's a somewhat fictionalized account of a true story of Mary Jemison. And since this is a Minecraft reading journal, she made her characters look like Minecraft. And this was the first chapter, and she said she was saving these other 2 for the next 2 chapters that she reads. Another maze. Here's a page that they choose a letter, write 15 words in their book that begin and end with that letter. There's a place for nouns, adjectives, and verbs, and they can write a silly story and illustrate it. And I like that it encourages them to be creative and incorporates a little bit of grammar. Now, these pages, there were actually about 6 of these scattered throughout the pages I just showed you. But my children, they're going to take a few weeks to complete a book. They're not super fast readers. And so I didn't print all 6 of them. I just printed a couple to start with. So when they finish their book, they can draw a picture of their book, write down the title, the author, the genre, who the illustrator was, the theme of the book, the subject, setting, their favorite part of the book, and then rate how they felt about the book and the date they completed it. Now, some of this stuff they could go ahead and fill out preemptively, and then just complete this part when they're actually done. So again, I didn't see a reason to print out more than 2 because they're not likely to finish that many books that quickly. So this book continues to rotate those various pages throughout the book with some change up and, you know, different coloring pages and mazes. And I'll just print the next section for the next week. And I really like this far better than a regular old book report. I think this is much more interesting, more fun, and plus it has the child thinking about what they read each day. While a book report, you don't do anything, you don't summarize it really until the end. Here, you're going to be each day thinking about what you read, words you read. I mean, even if it's just drawing a picture, you're processing whatever you read that day, and I think it will help increase the child's comprehension as well as be more memorable. And I really like it. I think it was a hit with my children. My 12-year-old son immediately gravitated towards the mazes. I think my 7-year-old already colored all the coloring pages. And as I showed you, my 10-year-old daughter, she went straight to the comic strip. So if you like this book, you can get it at funschooling.com. I think it's in the language arts section. And so there it is. I hope to see you again another time at Navigating Homeschooling.